Yahweh Shema Ilatha Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai to all my sisters. This is the ISUPK out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commandant General Yohana. And what we do is we teach the Black, Hispanic, and Natives that they are God's true and only chosen people. And being God's true and only chosen people comes with a responsibility. That responsibility is to love each other as the law dictates us to do so. Because everything about the law is about us loving each other. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to leave this time right now to open up the floor to any questions. If you got any questions while I get my share on and put in the logins, put in the login information, just type in your questions. They'll pop up. There we go. They'll pop up. So just type in your questions. I'm going to put in the logins and just type in your questions. Ooh, real smooth, right? Real smooth.
Let me just log into this real quick.
Count out around count. Oh man, I don't know Spanish. I think it's this one. All right, type in your questions. I'm gonna give you a couple more seconds to type them in.
Is the UPK Boston page back up?
For which one? YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah. We went live yesterday.
Okay.
So we should be able to go live there. I ain't seen no notifications that are hindering us, but yeah.
I'm gonna hit test. Let me know if you got it.
Con got it.
Let me just
So
just give me 1 second.
for some reason it's not in my notifications. Give it another resync. There we go. So if you got any questions, remember questions are very important. You know what I'm saying? If you have anything plaguing your mind, ask that question. You know what I'm saying? Come close to the men of the Lord, man. I hear you. If we can't answer it, we know somebody that can. That's the beautiful thing about this truth. If I don't know, I'm gonna let you know I don't know. But I know somebody that do know.
Okay.
All right.
1 second. I'm just trying to.
Got the sign-in on. You know what I'm saying?
Questions.
So, since nobody has a question, let me ask y'all a question. All right? Very simple question, right? When Christians, you know what I'm saying? When Christians are given an excuse on why they can't keep the law or why they slipped up, what does that mean?
Are giving?
What you mean?
You said are giving an excuse?
Yeah, what excuse does Christians give when it comes to why they can't keep the law, why they slipped up, why they doing this or doing that, why they're sinning? What is their excuse? The excuse that the Christian church taught them to comfort them in their sin. What excuse do Christians give? Let me tell you. The excuse that Christians give to comfort them in their sins is that nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect but Christ. Nobody's perfect. They say that the Christian church says that to put you at ease and make you more comfortable in your sin, which is a very deadly and dangerous thing to do. It's very dangerous and deadly to put yourself and make yourself so comfortable in the sins of the wickedness that you do by saying that nobody's perfect. But Salaki, sir.
Salaki, I didn't mean to interrupt. I got a second answer to that too.
Sir.
Nobody perfect is probably one of the top two answers. The second one is that it's by grace and not by works.
Which is very dangerous. Which ties into the point that all ties into the point of them trying to do away with the law. All of it ties into trying to do away with the law. But not understanding is that perfection is following the laws of God. Perfection is following that spirit that the law was trying to set out from the beginning. For us to love each other, for us to put each other first. That is perfection. Guess what? Christ wouldn't be perfect if he was trying to save everybody. Because perfection comes in by loving his people and his people only. And giving up his own life for his people. And following the laws. You know what I'm saying? So Salakia, if I may, Baba Kushal. Can you give me Deuteronomy 18, verse 13 through 15?
You said Deuteronomy 18?
Yes. Because Christians like to say nobody's perfect.
18, verse 13 through 15?
Count out of one kind.
Deuteronomy 18. Verse 13, thou shalt be perfect with the Lord thy God.
Thou shalt be what?
Thou shalt be perfect with the Lord thy God.
The Christian church likes to say that nobody can be perfect, but here in the Old Testament, it is telling you that you should be perfect. Read that again, Baba Kusha.
Thou shalt be perfect with the Lord thy power.
We will be perfect with the Lord thy power. Only way we can be perfect is with him. You know what I'm saying? He gave us the blueprint on how to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? This is the type of stuff that a Christian church will not teach. They don't want you to think that you could be perfect. You know why? Because they want you to be comfortable in your sin and you have a little bit of guilt in your heart and you go to church on Sunday and you fill up that little pan with money and you do a little song and dance and you think your sins are forgiven and you repeat the same cycle every week. You know what I'm saying? You repeat the same cycle every week. In fact, nothing changed because that's what our forefathers used to do, but in a different manner. Our forefathers used to repeat the same cycle of doing some sin, grabbing up a lamb, killing the lamb, sacrificing the lamb, thinking that their sins are forgiven. They repeat the same sins, thinking they could repeat the process over and over again. The Most High don't want your song and dance just like he didn't want our sacrifices. What he wanted was obedience. That's what he wanted, obedience. But,
man, can I say this?
Kind out of one kind.
Man, just a side note, maybe it correlates with what you're talking about. I heard from a Christian's mouth today.
Oh boy.
Verbatim. Listening to gospel music, right? I heard from a Christian's mouth that, so she's listening to gospel music. The crowd is doing the singing, right? And the pastor's not doing the singing. And she's like, oh wow, he's letting the crowd sing, right? And then she's like, but the crowd wants to hear him sing. I said, That's the whole point. The crowd wants to hear the pastor sing. But wow, he's letting the crowd sing.
Salakia.
That's just a side note.
Salakia, sir. Do they or do they not in rock concerts have the crowd participate?
That's right.
Do they or do they not in country?
That's right.
Hip hop.
That's right.
Every concert, every form of music has crowd participation. Even in poetry slams, they have crowd participation.
That's right.
So she thinking that crowd participation at a church is something holy? That is only a Christian way of thinking.
She's like, oh, I've never seen a pastor do that. He must be special.
When I did go to church, I seen it every Sunday. Everybody sung along with the choir. They were singing the same 5 songs every Sunday.
So basically what she was trying to say is the pastor usually leads the pack. He usually starts the seance.
So he's a great shepherd. He's a great shepherd. Well, wow. Salaki. May you start that from the top again, Baba Kashar, sir?
Deuteronomy 18, verse 13. Thou shalt be perfect with the Lord thy power.
We shall be perfect with the Lord thy power. Continue.
For these nations which thou shalt possess, hearken unto observance of times, and unto diviners.
See, these other nations which we seem to follow as a people today, they hearken unto observers of time, the astrologers, you know what I'm saying, the calendars. They paying attention to things that really don't matter. It's things that are borderline witchcraft or is full-blown witchcraft. That's what we do as a people today. You know what I'm saying? And in doing that, we are turning our power against us. You know what I'm saying? We are not being perfect as we should be. We are following these other nations, but these other nations, they're not perfect. Most High didn't want them anyway. But may you continue, Baba Kushar, sir.
But as for thee, the Lord thy power had not suffered thee so to do.
We are not supposed to be doing what these other nations are doing, period. That's how we be perfect. That's one of the first steps to being perfect, is being holy from these other nations. It's not being like these other nations. Not eating these bats and end up with coronavirus. You know what I'm saying? You heard the story on that? Oh, the coronavirus is in Boston. Oh, it's full blown in Boston. They had screenings at Logan today.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
So
somebody had it and they brought them straight to the hospital.
They're supposed to Salakia.
Mm-hmm.
Did they quarantine the area?
No. Business went on as usual. He got the new Wuhan coronavirus. That's the official name.
Wuhan is it Yunnan? Yunnan?
No, Wuhan. W-H. It might be pronounced Wuhan.
It's not Y-U-N-N-A-N?
No, W-U-H-A-N. Wuhan.
Okay. Wu-Tang. Go ahead.
Yeah, Wu-Tang. Wuhan coronavirus, which is started out in China because, you know, they love eating bats with all their filthiness that they could possibly do. And now that disease is in Boston to catch wreck. Hopefully none of my people see any remnants of it. But our hospitals, because they brought them straight to the hospital, is filled with black and Hispanic women being nurses and everything else. You know what I'm saying? Just separate yourself. That's just a warning. Separate yourself. We've been warning y'all about this for a long time. But may you continue with that, Baba Kashar, sir.
God. Verse 15. The Lord thy power will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee.
Whoa. The Most High, our power, will raise up a prophet from the midst of thee. Who are these prophets? Every prophet that's listed in the Bible. Let's think of the biggest name that we could think of. Because they all repeated each other. They all said the same thing. But the biggest and most popular prophet is Yahweh Shah Hamashiach, who y'all ignorantly call Jesus Christ. The biggest prophet of them all. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to pay attention to his words a little bit today. But may you start that verse from the top again, sir?
The Lord thy power will raise thee up will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren.
Of our brethren. That means if it's a prophet that's not our brother, guess what? He's not a prophet. Period. Muhammad is not a prophet. There's no perfection in him. Farad Muhammad, you know what I'm saying? Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm X, none of them are prophets. But may it continue, Bible Kashar, sir.
Like unto me.
That means they have to have that same spirit of the Most High. They have to walk in the same ways as the Most High. Like unto him. Continue, Bible Kashar, sir.
And also Moses as well.
And also Moses. Khan.
Like unto me, unto him ye shall hearken.
Unto who?
Unto him ye shall hearken.
Unto him ye shall hearken. Now let's see. Can you get Matthew 5:48 for me?
God.
Let's hear some words that we should be listening to, coming straight out of those red letters that every Christian loves to talk about, which is the words of Christ. Every Christian talk about these red letters, but none of them follow.
Matthew 5, verse 48. Be ye there perfect.
Be ye what?
Be ye therefore perfect.
Be ye therefore perfect. So what is the Christian church talking about? No one's perfect. We can't be perfect. What are they talking about? Christ himself told us to be ye therefore perfect. What's so hard to understand? What's so hard to understand? The only reason why you think it's impossible to be perfect is because of your own lusts and desires. You don't want to give up your own lust. You don't want to give up your own life. You're not willing to throw your life away. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why you don't think it's possible to be perfect. But may you continue that, Bible Kashar, sir?
So like, be ye there perfect. Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father, which is in heaven, is perfect.
Look, the Most High is perfect. You know what I'm saying? The Most High itself is perfect. And I'm going to further push it because a lot of people like to say only Christ was perfect. Is there anybody else in the Bible that was labeled perfect?
Job was one of them.
Job was one.
In the New Testament, I forget his name. In the New Testament.
Only I can think of in the New Testament is Christ.
There's another one.
It probably was.
Perfect and upright. His name starts with a Z.
I probably missed that one.
It's I can pull it up.
Matter of fact, yeah, we're going to bring up all these men that outside of Christ that was named perfect. Because Noah was named perfect. You know what I'm saying? Abraham, perfect. You know what I'm saying? Christ wasn't the only person considered perfect. So now you have goals. You know what I'm saying? Now you have guidelines, multiple different guidelines on how to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? Multiple lives to follow on how to be perfect, and you will notice that they all did the same thing. They all did the same thing, which is walk in the ways of the Most High, which is his law, statutes, and commandments. Noah, Job, Christ, Abraham, all did that. All walked in the ways of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? So the Christian church only wants you to believe that you can't be perfect, so you can continue in their sins and make their pockets fat. Without guilt and grief, the Christian church will be broke. Without guilt and grief, without that woman feeling some type of way about that abortion she had, the church will be broke. Without that man feeling all dirty, empty, and coming out of a strip club, the Christian church will be broke. Without that brother selling drugs to another brother, the Christian church would be broke. Because we would be following the law and we would not have any guilt. The Christian church would be, what's the best way to put it? The Christian church would be useless, pointless. I want to use a big word, but now I speak plainly. You know what I'm saying? Speak plainly. So you following the Christian church is going to have you stuck in your ways. You know what I'm saying? It's going to have you stuck in your ways. But Salaki, sir, you able to find that one yet?
Nah, but I mean, if it comes up, I'll bring it up.
Can you grab up, let's start with Noah, Genesis 6 and 9. Let's start with the earliest.
Salaki, if you could send me those notes.
Oh, Khan. You want them now?
No.
Oh, later?
Genesis 6 and 9?
Genesis 6 and 9, sir.
Genesis, chapter 6, verse 9. Therefore is the name of it called Babel.
6 and 9? Genesis 6 and 9?
Salaki. Genesis, chapter 6, verse 9. These are the generations of Noah.
All right, these are the generations of Noah. Continue.
Noah was a just man.
A just man. Noah was a just man. What does it mean to be a just man? Who knows what that means to be a just man?
Salaki. I'm going to say upright. Righteous.
To make it simple, he was justified in his ways because he was following his law. You know what I'm saying? There was no fault in him. There was no excuses. There was no wrong in him. You know what I'm saying? In fact, this might be the perfect time to bring up the definition of perfect. You know what I'm saying? Because Christian church got you thinking perfect is another way of saying flawless. Which it is, but there's more to the word perfect than just being flawless. You know what I'm saying? And if you may, Baba Kashaw, sir, before we continue with that verse, can you bring up the word perfect out of the Zondervan?
Perfect. In the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. Let me just see if I got it right. What did you look it up under?
Perfect. It's perfect, perfection. Is on
perfection. Got it.
Yeah.
Perfect in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. Basic meaning is close to the fundamental and etymological sense of the English word complete or finished.
Complete or finished. That's what the word perfect means. Complete or finished. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a road we have to walk in this truth, and following the law, when we finished, that means we are following it completely. You know what I'm saying? There's no gaps in it. You know what I'm saying? So when you think of the word perfect being flawless, yeah, that means we're following the law flawlessly. But that don't mean that there's not a past life where we was doing dirt. You know what I'm saying? That man's dead. But this new man followed the law perfectly, flawlessly, completely. You know what I'm saying? Any more on that, Bob Koshosa?
We can scroll down a little bit. There's a couple of more.
Okay.
It is used for the ritually clean victim of sacrifice and for uprightness of character.
Yep. So perfection explains the uprightness of characters. Perfection explains the things that we had to sacrifice, like our sheep had to be perfect, no blemishes, flawless. You know what I'm saying? Our cows and everything that we sacrifice had to be flawless. We have to be flawless. We have to be flawless when we stand in front of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? If not, there's going to be a problem. You know what I'm saying?
Salaki, I think this one is a good one. Definition 1. It is applied to the law.
It is what?
It is applied to the law.
It is implied to the law. So
Applied.
Applied to the law. It is applied to the law. Now why? Because anything outside of the law, there's no perfection in it. The law is perfect. The law is built on us to love each other. When you follow the law perfectly, in the spirit of it, there's no possible way that you could hate your brother. No possible way you'd be selling drugs. You know what I'm saying? There will be no flaw in you. Your enemies will even love you. You know what I'm saying? Any more on that, sir?
It is applied to the law and to God himself.
And into God himself. You know what I'm saying? So you be doing the same thing God, not doing the same thing God doing, but you would, the Most High gave us the law. Those are his ways. Those are his practices. Nobody loves the Israelite more than God himself. Follow those laws and you'll be the one, you'll be loving Israelites just as strongly. You know what I'm saying? God is perfect. Be ye perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. Christ told us that himself. So stop listening to your pastor. Start listening to these words that are in this Bible. But Salaki, sir, can you continue with 6 and 9?
Revelation, Salaki, Genesis 6 and 9. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations.
Out of everybody that was on that planet, Noah was perfect compared to everybody else. Noah was flawless. He completes the law. You know what I'm saying? He loved his people. You know what I'm saying? Any man that will build a boat, how long it take him to build that? By hand? By itself? No help.
No machines.
No machines. And he did that on his own. Yo, that's a perfect man right there.
Salaki, if it was me and I saw that after about the 5th year, I'm like, let me go find out a little bit more about this Noah guy.
I gotta talk to
Let
him.
alone 90 years.
Right? I gotta go holler at him. Something going on. He believes in something so strongly. I gotta listen to him. God. But
and that kind of reminds me of people that, you know, that walk by us every day, right? As we're out in the corner, up in the streets, you know what I'm saying? Trying to teach our people. They walk by us every day, right?
God.
Let's say they walk by 5 years straight. After about the 5th year, they're gonna be like,
yeah,
they're onto something. These people actually. See, people like to see persistence. They want to see the persistence, how persistent you are.
Consistency.
Consistency is the word, exactly. Consistency. That way they say, oh, okay, they're not playing. They're really about that life. You know what I mean? And sometimes it might take that. So they go through hell for the 5 years, and after a while, that one message they hear, boom, that relates to their life, they're like, oh, wow. They've been saying it all along. So go
ahead. May you want to finish off that verse, sir?
And Noah walked with the Most High.
And Noah walked with the Most High. How did Noah walk with the Most High? He walked with him by following those law, statutes, and commandments. Without those law, statutes, and commandments, you ain't walking with the Most High. You know what I'm saying? But Salaki, can you get Job 1:1, Baba Kushar, sir? Now, Noah wasn't the only perfect person listed in the Bible. I mean, we got Christ, you know what I'm saying? We got Noah. Let's listen to another man. A man so perfect that he just had to be tested. A man so perfect, he had to be tested. You know what I'm saying?
Job, chapter 1, verse 1. There was a man in the land of Uz.
That was Job's hood. Continue.
Whose name was Job. And that man was perfect.
That man was what?
Was perfect.
Wow, that man was perfect. Continue.
And upright.
And upright. So if Job could be perfect, that means I could be perfect. Job was a man upright in his ways. He was upright in his way. He's steadfast in his law. 10 toes down in his law.
Okay.
You couldn't tell him nothing against these scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Job remind me of the men of the ISUPK. Plain and simple. You know what I'm saying? Steadfast and strong in his ways, upright.
Okay.
So y'all get mad when we say that we're perfect. Y'all get mad when we say we're the home of the truth. But let me tell you something, we're the only ones that is following these laws by the Spirit perfectly. Perfectly. May you continue, Bob Shaw, sir.
I think I found it. This actually goes hand in hand with the other person.
Okay.
And one that feared the Most High.
And one that feared the Most High. You know what verse I was going to go to? Fear the Most High is what? The first step towards wisdom. I'm not saying it verbatim. But what's that scripture? Fear the Most High is the first step to wisdom?
The beginning of understanding?
Oh, the beginning of understanding. There it is.
Yeah.
That is the first step. See, if you don't fear the Most High, see, the Christian church, the Catholic church, they don't fear the Most High. That's why it's okay to eat pork.
And you're absolutely right about that, because I did the class yesterday on fearing the Lord.
Okay.
And this class today actually lines up with perfection. You know,
Yep.
fearing the Lord is being perfect.
Come.
You know what I mean?
Come.
That's what it is.
If you fear the Most High, you ain't going to be selling drugs. That's why the punishment of the law exists. See, the Most High has no joy in punishing us for the sin that we commit. God gets no joy out of that. Know why? Because he wants our obedience. He wants our obedience. He don't want us to get caught up in the hell that's about to, befall this country. He don't want our sacrifices. He don't want to punish us. What God wants is us to listen and follow the law. And if you're not following the law, you would say that the law is done away with. You would say it's okay to eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. You would say it's if that man don't love you, if that man's not paying the bills, it's okay to leave him. You would say stuff like that. When all that's against the laws of the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? But any more in that verse?
And eschew evil.
Who knows what eschewed means?
I have it on the tip of my tongue. Basically, I would say to detest or to hate.
Close. Close.
But eschew in the Merriam-Webster, to avoid habitually.
There it is. I was going to say to turn away from, because the only reason why I know that word is because there was this dude that I grew up with that, likes to say extra big words. He's like the T.I. of the crew. And I remember one day he was talking about how he just dipped on a chick. He said, man, I skewed from her. I'm like, what the hell does that mean? I had to look it up. Because I didn't know what it meant. Didn't even know how to spell it at the time. Spelled it like four ways. You know what I'm saying? Before I figured out what it actually was. Actually, I had to ask him how to spell it. But I had to look it up like 4 different ways. Look it all up in the dictionary. Back then, we didn't have, these smartphones. I actually had a dictionary. When you rap, everybody who was a rapper back in the day had a dictionary.
That's right.
We had a dictionary. We had a thesaurus. We had those things. You know what I'm saying? So I was looking it up, didn't know nothing. But Salakia. So if you are upright and perfect, you would turn away from evil. Evil's all around us. You know what I'm saying? Evil's all around us. I was on Facebook earlier today, And I was looking, at the memories. Let me show you how long I was on Facebook. This is actually my backup page compared to my original page. And I went up on it, and they showing posts from 10 years ago. And I'm like, yo, who's going to the strip club? You know what I'm saying? Yo, man, this rib right here. Yo, I got a whole bunch of posts like that 10 years ago. That man didn't turn from evil. But this man's not walking in the strip club. This man's not eating pork. You know what I'm saying? This man's not flirting with another man, another woman that's married. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm skewed. I eschew evil. I turn from it. I give it a little, shake and bake, twist and go. You know what I'm saying? But Salaki, sir. Let's grab Genesis 17:1. Let's go to the.
Oh, I had the
the other brother.
So the other brother was Cornelius.
Cornelius, yes. Well, how did I forget that?
Yeah. So Cornelius in Acts chapter 10. In Acts chapter 10, verse.
In Acts 10, it's not that long of a book. When it said a devout man?
Yeah, but that's one. Devout is one. But it says in Acts chapter 10, verse 22. In verse 2 and 22 it says, and they said, Cornelius, the centurion, a just man.
A just man.
And one that feareth the Most High.
That's the first step right there, fearing the Most High. Continue.
And of good report among all the nation of the Jews.
He had a good reputation among his people. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knew who he was, even though he was working for the government that was against our people, but he still had a good reputation. Imagine a black police officer nowadays that is not, imagine a black police officer, I haven't seen this yet, that is seeing American cop beat up on a teenage black boy, you know what I'm saying, choking him out and everything, and this black cop yokes that American cop up, tosses to the side, and tells him not to do that. That's the type of man Cornelius was. He had that type of reputation of standing up for his people. You know what I'm saying? He had a good reputation. You know what I'm saying? If you seen a black cop do that, that black cop will have a good reputation in your hood. You know what I'm saying? May you continue, Baba Kushar.
So I think that's all I had on that one. And was warned from the Most High by a holy angel to send for thee into his house and to hear the words of thee.
Now you can add Cornelius to that list of perfection, because the simple fact he was a just man. A just man. He was justified. You know what I'm saying? He followed the law. And he feared the Most High. You know what I'm saying? That's the first step. You know what I'm saying? But Salakia, can you grab up Genesis 17:1? So the Christians, so right there in the New Testament alone, there's two examples of perfect men. Right there. Right there. You know what I'm saying? Two examples. So the Christian church telling you that you can't be perfect, no one's perfect, is a lie. It is a lie that is dependent on you continuing in your sin. It needs you to. It needs you, literally. The Christian church needs you to sin. May you continue, sir. I mean, may you read that Bible, sir.
Genesis 17, verse 1. And when Abraham was 90 years old, and 9, it's like when Abraham was 90 years old and 9.
That means 99 years old.
And the Lord appeared to Abraham and said to him, I am the almighty power.
He is the almighty power. Continue.
Walk before me.
Walk before me. You know what I'm saying? Remember how I was telling you how, who was it? Job? No, it was Noah. How Noah walked with God?
God.
It wasn't mean that God was literally next to him. It means that he had a certain behavior and demeanor about himself. You know what I'm saying? Continue, Baba Kushal, sir.
And be thou perfect.
And be perfect. That's the only way you're going to walk with God. It's the only way you're going to stand before him is if you're perfect. There's only one way to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? So we got another example of a perfect man. And that's Abraham. Abraham, a man that was about to sacrifice his own son because the Most High told him to. Didn't ask no questions or nothing. You know what I'm saying? The Most High seen that faith was like, whoa, 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 whoa. You know, I caught you, you good, bro. Like, whoa, that is heavy. That's heavy. You know what I'm saying? But Salaki, can you get 2 Samuel 22, verse 31? Now this is one of those scriptures that proves to that the prophets, you know what I'm saying, repeated each other, that righteous men repeated each other. Because this scripture that Samuel is about to spit, even King David said the same exact thing. And what's the years between King David and Prophet Samuel?
What's the what?
The year difference. I know Samuel. How many years was Samuel before King David? Not that many, though.
What do you mean, how many years? I'm trying to figure out what you're trying to say.
Timeline-wise.
Samuel was an old man.
Yeah.
When
so King David probably learned those words from Samuel himself.
So Samuel was an old man when Saul had already went to that witch.
Yeah.
To call Samuel, but David was already
a young
crowned.
man.
He was already destined to be the king at that time. So
okay.
So he was an old man at that time.
Kind of. So it wasn't that far apart, but Slaki, sir, if you may, Baba Kushal.
2 Samuel 22, sir?
Yeah, verse 31.
2 Samuel 22, verse 31. As for the Most High, his way is perfect.
His what?
His way is perfect.
Now, that's the only reason why Noah and Abraham was able to walk with the Most High, because they followed his way.
Sure.
And his way is perfect. And what way is that? His way is these law, statutes, and commandments. His way is loving his people. You know what I'm saying? When you read the scriptures and you observe the relationship that the Most High had with our people, you should emulate it. You should try to emulate it to the best of your knowledge. You know what I'm saying? For example, not being quick to anger. The Most High was quick to anger, you know where we'd be right now? We wouldn't exist.
Dead, man.
We would not exist. So having a little patience with your people, you know what I'm saying? Emulate that. Giving your people guidelines. Emulate that. That means teach your brothers and sisters on how to live according to these law, statutes, and commandments. It's not hard. It's not hard. You know what I'm saying? When you see a brother go do something wrong, you know what I'm saying? Correct him. If you haven't noticed, the Most High gives us correction more than punishment. He'll try to correct us so many times before he take our lives. You know what I'm saying? That diabetes might be a sign for you to stop eating those pork, crab, shrimp, lobster. The high blood pressure might be a little warning, a little correction. That gout, you know what I'm saying? Those herpes might be a little correction for you to try to at least get your life together. You know what I'm saying? Because he could have took your life like bang, but he has a little more patience.
God.
Try to emulate that. May you continue, Baba Kushal, sir.
Salaki. And Salaki. His way is perfect. The word of the Lord is tried.
What is the word of the Most High? What is the Most High's word? Now his ways is perfect. A man only voices his ways. His ways is perfect. What is his ways? Because they are definitely tried. And they tried and true. His words are these law, statutes, and commandments. His words are these scriptures. And they are tried and true. They are proven to work. You want to know how they are proven to work? This country that we live in proves that they work. You know what I'm saying? Our enemies have taken this book and made the greatest nation, most powerful nation on this planet by following the guidelines of this book and doing it with full wickedness in their heart. So this book is tried, and it's true. It's proven that it works. You know what I'm saying? They only deal with each other. You know what I'm saying? They only love each other. They barely do that. But they put their people above everybody else. That's tried and proven to work. We don't do that. But it proves that segregation works. You know what I'm saying? And segregation is in the scriptures. It's a law for us to be separate and holy. You know what I'm saying? May you continue with that, Baba Kushal, sir?
He is a buckler to all them that trust in him.
He is a buckler to all those that trust in him. Who knows what a buckler is?
Look it up now.
I don't want to say it wrong.
Buckler, in the Merriam-Webster, a small round, definition 1A, a small round shield held by a handle at arm's length. Definition B, a shield worn on the left arm. Definition 2, one that shields and protects.
So, Salaki, you could drop that definition. It's quite clear what it means. He is our protection. These, his words, his way of life, the guidelines that he has given us is our protection. It is our buckler. It is our shield. You know what I'm saying? And King David said these exact words.
God.
You know what I'm saying? May you continue with that, Baba Kushal, sir?
For who is the Most High, save the Lord?
Now, actually, that might confuse some people. What it's saying is, who else but him? You know what I'm saying? May you continue, Baba Kushal, bring it a little more clarity.
And who is a rock, save our power?
Who else but him? Who is our protection? Who else is our shield? You know what I'm saying? It sure ain't no T.D. Jakes. Sure ain't no Malcolm X, no Black Panthers. They all failed. The Most High ain't gonna fail. These law, statutes, and commandments are tried and proven. They ain't gonna fail. You know what I'm saying? The ISUBK has not failed and won't fail. You know what I'm saying? We are tried and proven, just like these scriptures, because we are following these scriptures. Every time you turn around the corner, you're going to hear about a lie about us that is proven to be a lie. Every time you turn on YouTube, you're going to see somebody trying to prove us wrong, and they end up shamed. You know what I'm saying? We are tried and proven just like these scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Because we have our buckler. These scriptures are our buckler. You know what I'm saying? They are our protection. They are our shield from the ways of these Christians. Salaki, sir. May you continue with that?
Verse 33. The Most High is my strength and power.
Continue.
And he maketh my way perfect.
And he what?
And he maketh my way perfect.
How can he make your way perfect?
Salakia. By trying.
Con, I don't want con, but a little simpler than that. If you are following the Most High, guess what? It ain't your way. It's his way. You know what I'm saying? So basically what he's trying you is to see if you're following his way. He's going to try you by you waking up to the smell of bacon. Oh man. The smell of bacon when you wake up. Especially when you're new to this truth. Oh, that's a temptation. He's going to try you by just all of a sudden, when you come to this truth, every girl that turned you down before that you all of a sudden finds interest in you. They hitting you up. He's going to test you by throwing women at you. He's going to test you by putting a pack in front of you. All of a sudden that homeboy that you were dealing drugs with, all of a sudden got a little job for you to do.
Okay.
He's going to test you in many, many, many ways. You know what I'm saying? But may you continue? Oh, Slakia, drop that. And let's get 1 Kings 8 and 61, Baba Kashaw. Oh, time's running short. Oh boy.
Flies, right?
Yeah.
1 Kings 8 and 21.
1 Kings 8 and 61. Because remember, those ways are his ways. When you following his ways, that's what makes you perfect. His ways are these law, statutes, and commandments. His ways is this truth. His ways is one west. It's a lot.
1 Kings 8 and 61. Let your heart therefore be perfect with the Lord your power.
Let your heart be perfect. How can your heart be perfect? See, this is what people understand. When the scriptures are talking about your heart, it's not talking about that thing that pumps blood through your body. It's not even talking about your emotions. You know what I'm saying? It's talking about your mind, your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? The way you act. That's your heart when it comes to the scriptures. May you continue, Baba Kashaw?
Salakia. To walk in his statutes and to keep his commandments.
To walk in the statutes. See, your ways are perfect. You know what I'm saying? With the Most High power, your ways are perfect when you are walking in his statutes and his commandments. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all probably just thought I would just freestyle it by saying that perfection is, you know, following the law, but no, this is the scripture that proves it. I just had to throw it in there. The scripture is telling you that to be perfect, you got to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. So, no wonder the Christian church thinks that you can't be perfect because they say the law is done away with, which is not. Which is not. The law is still here and will always be here. You know what I'm saying? May you continue, Baba Kashaw, sir?
As at this day, verse 62.
Oh, Salah. No, I just wanted 61. Or is there something in 62 that you want to bring out? Shalom, sis. Something in 62 that you wanted to bring out? Nah. Now let's go and go to Psalms 19 and 7. Now to prove that following the law is what makes you perfect, Let me tell you, the law itself is perfect. There's no flaw in the law. Period. You know what I'm saying? If there was flaw in the law, then Christians bringing up the point of, there's so many laws, it can't be all held. That means you're admitting that there's a flaw in the law.
God.
By you saying that no man can keep all the law, you're saying that there's a flaw in the law. By you saying it's okay to eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster, that means you're saying there's a flaw in the law. You know what I'm saying? So that you are saying that God is a liar. I mean, the hypocrisy in Christianity is tremendous and about as evil as it gets. But may you read that, Bible Krishan, sir.
Psalms 19, verse 7. The law of the Lord is perfect.
The law of who?
The law of the Lord is perfect.
Is perfect. The law of the Lord is perfect. See, the Christian church is quick to keep the law of man. They keep the law of America. You know what I'm saying? They will love all the homosexuals on the planet. They will eat all the crab, pork, shrimp, and lobster. They will sell all the drugs they want. They will rape, murder, kill, molest, all they want. You know what I'm saying? Because they say the law is done away with, but not knowing that the law itself is perfect. Because the law of man is not perfect, but the laws of God is. So when you are putting the laws of man above the laws of the Lord, you are no longer perfect. You are no longer perfect. You know what I'm saying? And that's what everybody is doing when they say that all nations can be saved. You're putting the laws of man above the laws of God. You know what I'm saying? But may you continue that, Bible Krishan, sir?
Converting the soul.
Doing what?
Converting the soul.
See, you're killing that old man when you start following the law. That old man is dying. When you start following the law, that thought that you used to be is no longer on a stripper pole, and she is a new being. She is not the same being. She is not the same person. So the person that you are becoming cannot be held to the same standards of the person that you was. You know what I'm saying? Your soul is being converted. You know what I'm saying? It's not like Christianity likes to say conversion is when one leaves the Pentecostal church and it becomes a Methodist just because the music's better.
Nah.
That's not a conversion. No, your soul got to be converted. And that's something that baptism in water does not do. It does not convert the soul. But these law, statutes, and commandments, they convert the soul. You know what I'm saying? That's the baptism by fire that John was talking about, that Christ was bringing. You know what I'm saying? That's the baptism that comes after that water baptism. It's these law, statutes, and commandments, and you being tried through. You know what I'm saying? Following these law, statutes, commandments, being taught these law, statutes, and commandments is a baptism because it converts your soul. May you continue, Bible Krishan, sir?
And Slaki, the testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple.
Following these laws, man, the testimony of the Lord is sure, making the wise the simple. You know what I'm saying? Humbling you. You know what I'm saying? Nothing's better than a humbled soul. That's how you get up in here, because a lot of cats come up in here thinking that they know everything. They're comedic. Ah, man, they're going to come shut us down. You know how many brothers that used to be comedic that's now in the school? They have been baptized. Sorry to get Christian on y'all, but they have been baptized and their soul has been converted, making the wise the simple. You know what I'm saying? Because when you come up in here and we show you that brotherhood, you got to come humble. If you don't come humble, prepare for war. Because we are following the ways of the Lord, and the Lord is a man of war. So come humble. You know what I'm saying? But Salaki, let's drop that. Let's get on. How much time I got? Woo, golly, it took me 8 minutes to break that one verse down. I gotta speed it up. Let's get on. Let's get Ezekiel 28 and 15.
Ezekiel. Ezekiel chapter 20.
28.
Salaki?
Chapter 28.
Salaki.
Ezekiel 28.
Ezekiel
verse 15.
chapter 28.
Verse 15.
Chapter 28, verse 15. Thou was perfect in thy ways from the day that thou was created.
Now, you understand what this is saying to the Christian church? This destroys another doctrine of the Christian church. Who knows what doctrine that is?
That you wasn't born perfect.
We are all born sinners. So we are born sinners in this sinful flesh. We cannot be perfect. Ever. No. This scripture is telling you straight up. It's straight up and down. Nobody was born sinful. Know why? Everybody was born perfect. Know why? Because to not be perfect, you have to break the law. If you haven't broken any law yet, how are you not perfect? You know what I'm saying? So when a baby comes in this earth, I know a lot of y'all like to say that homosexual was born gay. Nah.
That's a lie.
That's a lie. Some trauma happened to him, or was a conscious choice that he made or she made. You know what I'm saying? But they definitely wasn't born that way. You know what I'm saying? But may you finish that off, Baba Kushal, sir?
Till iniquity was found in thee.
To what?
Till iniquity was found in thee.
Till iniquity was found in thee. Everybody's perfect till they sin. Till they fall. You Christians love to say, we fall down, but we get up. Well, guess what? It's saying right here that you're perfect, but when you fall, you no longer are. But guess what? Once you get back up, you can start over. Start following these law, statute, commandments again, and then you're perfect again. You know what I'm saying? But Salakia, just to speed it up a bit, can we get Ecclesiasticus 21 and 11. I got one more after that. I got 5 minutes. I could do this.
Ecclesiastes, again?
Ecclesiasticus 21 and 11.
Ecclesiastes chapter 21, verse 11. He that keepeth the law of the Lord getteth the understanding thereof.
Them that keepeth the law of the Lord get the understanding thereof. You start to understand these law, statutes, commandments. You start to understand what their purpose is, and why you become perfect with it. You know what I'm saying? You start to get the understanding of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Which is perfection. Which is to love your people. That's the whole spirit of it all. You know what I'm saying? Martin Luther King was not a perfect man. He did not follow the law, and he did not love his people. But may you continue, Baba Kushal, sir.
And the perfection of the fear of the Lord is wisdom.
And that's the understanding right there. Fearing the Most High is the beginning of all wisdom right there. You know what I'm saying? That is perfection. You got to have perfect fear of the Lord is wisdom. You know what I'm saying? If you don't fear the Most High, you're not a wise man. And any man that takes pride in the sin that he does, Any man that says that the law done away with, any man that says, that eats crab, pork, shrimp, and lobster, whatever and so forth, guess what? They're not wise because they don't fear the Lord. You know what I'm saying? But Salaka, let's drop that real quick and let's get on 1 John 4:12. I want to end it with that. 1 John 4:12.
First John 4, verse 12. No man hath seen the Most High at any time.
Because this world is his footstool. We understand that much. You know what I'm saying? May you continue, Bob Shelter?
If we love one another.
If we what?
If we love one another.
Which is the whole purpose of the law, is if we love one another. You know what I'm saying? May you continue?
The Most High dwelleth in us.
Hey. Once we start loving each other, the Most High is with us. That's that walk with the Most High. We are carrying his spirit. We are walking in his ways by loving each other. May you continue, Bob Kushal, sir.
And his love is perfected in us.
And his love is perfected in us. That's how you become perfect. By loving your people according to these law, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? And with that, due to the time, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to end the class. But remember, you know what I'm saying, we have the Passover coming up. You know what I'm saying? So everybody get ready and get prepared because the Passover is a big deal. You know what I'm saying? That's part of that law. That's part of that culture that the Most High gave us. That's his way. Because this is the Most High's Passover. It ain't the ISUBK's Passover. We just been chosen to host it. This is the Lord's 51st Passover in this hell. You know what I'm saying? That we are in. But April 9th at sundown at the Westchester County Center at 198 Central Ave, White Plains, New York. It's $100 per person. Book your hotels ASAP. You know what I'm saying? And if you have any questions or RSVPing, call 719-673-5165. And if you have any sisters that would like to, that are sane and, ain't trying to, cause any trouble, if you are willing to volunteer your services with the, passing out the food, hit up Captain Shapar as soon as you possibly can. Get with the school near you. Get with your camp leader and tell them that you're willing to participate and help serving the men of the Lord and your people. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to be a trooper in the school, get in all black, black shirt, black pants, black headpiece. You know what I'm saying? Do your 90 days and get your name. And with that, shalom.
Shalom.